All right, guys, we have a very special guest with us. He is Hampton University head coach Edward Buck Joyner Jr. He is heading into another season. Got one win in his belt already. Got a big game coming up against Norfolk State, longtime rivalry. So we're going to talk about that, as well as some of the new players or some of the folks who are coming to the front of the spotlight for Hampton this year as they have made some transitions. Some of the key players from last year have made transitions, and other guys are stepping up. So last time we saw you guys was the Big South Championship game. You guys made a great run, got to the championship game. Didn't turn out the way that you wanted to, but that's kind of really like the last normal set of basketball circumstances that we've had all year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, we like I told you before, we got a blessing to be able to even finish our season. Again, we made a great run. We thought that things would end a little different for us in that championship game, but I guess it wasn't in the cards. But we're gonna make a run at it this year if everything holds up and it's possible.
No doubt, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is things are changing every day. With this pandemic, as far as schedules, I know you guys have had some of that go on, as well as a lot of other schools. What is the last couple of the last month or so been like for you guys? Normally at this time you've already played, 6, 7, 8 games in, and you kind of got a feel for the team. You guys to this point have only had one game all year. What is it feeling like for you guys at this point? Is it kind of like where you guys would normally be, maybe in early November?
Well, I mean, actually, for the way the first game went, it felt like we were further along than we really thought that we would be at that point walking into the game. Again, with seeing how many games have been canceled and postponed, and you kind of walk into it expecting it. I think because of the pandemic, it has made a lot of college athletes who are sometimes called the spoiled ones, or those types of things. Now they have to be more aware of their surroundings and what they're doing and how they're handling things. And I mean, the biggest thing is don't go out and stay safe. Try to stay in your own bubble and stay safe. And we understand that that's a hard thing to do, but if you want to have a season, that's what we have to do. And like I said, Glenn, again, we've been blessed to have that first game, but our last game against William and Murray was canceled because they had a case hit, and I think we just lost our non-D1. I think they told us today that they wouldn't be able to play because they had a couple of cases on their team. But again, we're just trying to stay alert, stay ready, and stay safe.
No doubt about that. And you talk about it, you guys have been able to get one game in so far. Went up to George Washington and got the win there. If you talk about it, like I said, the last time we saw you, you guys had Jermaine Merrill, who was the leading scorer all time in Hampton history, great player, exhausted his eligibility there. And then also you had Ben as well, who's no longer with you guys. But you guys have, I mean, it just seems like, you guys just keep pulling the guys the next man up. Davion led you guys with 20 points the other night. I know he was a guy who was on the team last year. Had some times where he stepped up a little bit, but what have you seen out of him this year that's different than maybe he was at this time last year?
Well, I don't know that it's different. I think it became opportunity. Last year we did feel like we had a great player in Davion, but he had to kind of accept his role and do the things that we needed to do to try to help us win ball games. Now it's time for him to mature, and it's time for him to take that next step. But again, I think it's something for him that's came natural. Not only himself, but Edward Oliver Hampton. Both of those guys, started a lot for us last year. I think Davion the entire season, and Ed for at least half a season started some games for us. And both played big minutes, and they both came up big for us in the last game. And, they both understand that they are the identity of the team. We're going to go at least mentally how they go. If they can handle things and they can keep it in the road, the rest of those guys will, basically follow their lead, and hopefully that'll carry us through the rest of the season.
Yeah, you talk about Edward. You had last year you had Ben, where the year before he kind of was a role supporting player, and then last year he really just leapt out and came into his own. Do you see some similarities between maybe the leap that Edward has taken versus what Ben took for you guys last year?
It's probably kind of early for me to say if it's going to be that kind of leap. I mean, I think, Ben came on, and again, it was unexpected for us. We expected big things, but we didn't know it was going to be that big. Ed, we think, can do similar things, but his game is different. But we think with what he brings to our team from a total stat sheet standpoint. I mean, steals, rebounds, points, assists. We think from that standpoint, he can have that type of effect. But we're hoping he can fill more of the stat sheet.
No doubt, no doubt. And so, again, you guys have the one game on your belt, had some schedule changes, but now, of course, the next game you guys have is against Norfolk State. Not unfamiliar to you guys at all the time in the MEAC, and you guys have played them every year since you guys have left. Just talk about Norfolk State, what you've seen out of them. Obviously, they've had a chance to get more games in than you guys. How much do you think that maybe that's an advantage for them going into it, or do you think that maybe you guys will, have some fresher legs?
Well, you know what, you don't know this early, but one thing I do know, the game is the game. I don't care what your record is. I don't care what their record is. It's still the Battle of the Bay. I don't care if it's 8,000 fans in there. I don't care if it's 200. I think they're going to allow maybe 250 fans in there. Whatever it is that, both teams are going to be up and ready for this game. One thing that I preach to my guys is it does take a cool head to win a hot game, but then again, this is the 757's version of Duke and Carolina or Michigan and Ohio State. Our guys play together over the summer. They in each other's gyms. They're in a lot of each other's company. They know each other. So again, the game it's gonna take a life of itself, and we think we're gonna be ready and we're gonna be prepared. But some of the things that we've seen early on are the same from a typical Coach Jones team. They're going to be very tough. They're going to be very confident. They're going to be well versed on the defensive end. And again, they're going to come and try to push their wheel. They play. So again, I've seen some good things from them early. Respect and like the team that I saw. But then again, we all put our pants and jerseys on the same. So when we walk on the court, it's going to be time to play no matter what.
No doubt about it. And on another note, you guys have some transfers coming in from I think the young man from ODU. Is he going to be able to play second semester, or you guys still don't know? That's in the air. I hear, but how are you guys going to have any transfers that are going to be able to play for you guys maybe mid-year, or is basically what you guys have now the team that you're going to have going through for the rest of the year?
No, actually all three of our transfers. Marquise Godwin from ODU, Deja Dickens from ODU, and actually Ray there from Howard. They all will be available for us for the next game. It was really low nagging injuries that kept them out of the last game. It wasn't that anything, from an academic or an NCAA standpoint. They were all fine in that case, but we wanted to have them as close as we could to playing at 100%. Because of the pandemic, and we've not been able to prepare for as much time and be as thorough as we normally would. We didn't want any of our guys to have anything that was lingering and nagging. So, we decided to hold them. They feel a lot better. So we're going to let them out and let them play.
So those guys will be available against Norfolk or after? I think I lost.
They'll be available against Norfolk. Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, so they'll be available against Norfolk. Gotcha. Okay. Well, look, it's always a great game.
Yeah. All three of them will play.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry, Coach. It was coming in. It was coming in and out. Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay, I think I got you stable again. Okay, can you so you said those guys will be available for Norfolk State. So you guys should be pretty much at full strength when you guys play them.
Yeah, we will. Like I said, we held those guys out the last game for low nagging and lingering things because we didn't have the normal time to prepare, the normal time, So we didn't want anybody walking into any game with any nagging injuries this early. So, those guys are available. They feel like they're close or at 100%, so we're going to let them play, all three.
No doubt. And then lastly, we've been talking, there's been a lot of talk about the HBCUs and getting the top flight talent and things like that. And obviously, we talk to different coaches and things like that. And, I guess the question I would have for you is, I see a lot of the guys, you're on their list. So you guys are definitely one of the HBCUs that they're looking at. I know Lavelle was saying that now, maybe in the last couple of months, they've seen student athletes that have started to come and pursue them, or at least express interest in them, maybe that weren't doing it before. Have you seen more of that as you this year? Just in your experience, I'm just curious because I think I've heard that from a couple of other different folks as well.
Yeah, it has. It has been kind of shocking, the response. You know what, the interest, as Lavelle said, the interest that we're getting from them, you know, and which starts us to pursue them, you know, and again, I try to be as honest with all of them as I possibly can. You know, our HBCUs are rich with tradition, and I don't care where you are. If you produce and you put in the work and you allow the opportunity to show your abilities on the court, you can make it from anywhere. But do understand that, you know, what it means to carry this torch where we are it's not the same as trying to carry the torch, you know, from a place like Duke or Carolina, only because of public perception. But, you know, we're on a lot of those guys' radar, and we're going after a lot of those guys. And if we get one, hopefully, you know, it's that guy that's ready to carry the torch and understand what it means to carry the culture and help carry not just Hampton but all of HBCUs to the next level from an athletic standpoint. But yeah, you know, I like the interest that we're getting, and you know, hopefully it continues to stay that way. And hopefully these guys that are beginning to come down can get to their prospective schools and have success.
No doubt about it. Well, look, Coach, we thank you so much for giving us your time. Make sure you got, hopefully you guys all stay healthy. We're looking forward to coming up and checking out the Battle of the Bay on Monday night, and seeing you guys go at it with Norfolk State. We're looking forward to it.
My man, I appreciate that, brother.
I appreciate you.